did you know that you could have watched this video early and ad-free if you had become a member of my Patreon? How do you do that? I'm glad you asked. It's very simple. Head over to patreon.com/Marvin Francois, where you can get early, ad-free, and exclusive access to my content way before the general public does here on my YouTube channel. That's patreon.com/Marvin Francois. And if you're too lazy to type it up there, don't worry. I'll leave a link to the website in the description below. Patreon.com/Marvin Francois. Looking forward to seeing you on the other side. But until then, peace from the Middle East and enjoy the video. Let's go.
I wanted to talk about a topic that has actually made me very popular in the YouTube space as it pertains to credit repair, and that's hard inquiries, right? Hard inquiries is a very popular topic because everybody and their grandmother's, auntie, sister's, baby mother's cousin is very familiar with it because someone's always running their credit, whether it be to get a car, to get a card, to get a house, to get whatever it may be. And I deal with clients in my company who have 10, 20, 30. Most inquiries I've ever seen on a credit report ever was like 72. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely out this world. And I made a video.
On.
Yeah, 72.
How many of those inquiries were tied to open accounts?
Maybe like 10.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's potentially $62,000 sitting on the credit report.
See, you can't even help yourself. You're already getting right into it. Oh, yeah, let me set it up for you. Let me set it up for you, right?
Okay.
Because I made a video as it pertains to hard inquiries about the 24-hour hard inquiry act, which most people know about. You call in, you ask for the fraud department, boom, the inquiries come off. But still to this day, people come to me and they're like, okay, that's cool, but are there any other ways that we can go about dealing with hard inquiries on our credit report, whether it be getting them removed and things of that nature? You being in the space of consumer law mastery, talk to the audience a little bit about how they can use consumer laws and different strategies to deal with hard inquiries. Go ahead.
Well, I don't just want to get them deleted. I want to get paid.
Okay.
So if we're talking about 62 inquiries,
Right.
that's potentially $62,000 that's sitting in a credit report that people don't know that they have.
Okay.
You got your phone?
I got my phone.
All
Of
right,
course I got my
let's
phone. Let's go. Come on. We do this. They call us Kobe and Shaq. That's what they call it, Kobe and Shaq. What am I looking up?
All right. 15 USC.
15 USC.
1681.
1681.
N. Civil liability.
And civil liability. Let's work. Civil liability for willful non-compliance.
All right. So the second one should speak on inquiries.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I see A in general, and then I see B. B is civil liability for knowing non-compliance.
I read what B says.
Any person who obtains a consumer report from a consumer reporting agency under false pretenses or knowingly without a permissible purpose shall be liable to the consumer reporting agency for actual damages sustained by...
Wait. The last time I explained actual damages,
Right,
if there's 72 inquiries on there,
right.
and that prevented me from obtaining credit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real estate investor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying a multifamily. I'm leveraging my personal.
Mm-hmm.
I lost that deal that was a $200,000-$300,000 deal.
Mm-hmm.
That is actual damages. That's what that actual damage means.
Right.
I can now go after them
Mm-hmm.
for my damages. That is actual damage. So that $300K that I lost out on, that lost opportunity, actual damage to me,
Right.
run me my coins.
You want me to keep reading?
Yeah, go ahead, because that's the next part.
All right, so without a permissible purpose shall be liable to the consumer reporting agency for actual damages, like you just talked about, sustained by the consumer reporting agency or $1,000, whichever is greater. You want me to keep going to see?
No, that's it.
Okay.
So $1,000 for inquiry.
So with this, so with laws such as this shows us not only how we can get rid of it, but also going back to what you said, how we can literally get paid for $1,000 per each and every single individual
Minimum.
inquiry.
Because if I have damages, I'm going to get more.
Goodness gracious.
So I'm going to apply for stuff. I'm
Right.
going to get denied.
Right.
I'm applying knowing I'm going to get denied. Why? I know the play.
Got you. And now this only applies for inquiries that are or aren't connected to open accounts.
So if it's tied to open accounts, then there's permissible purpose. Because in your agreement, the language might be we might run your credit periodically because we're already doing business.
Right.
But for an institution or corporation or a person that you're not doing business with, what's your permissible purpose? I didn't give you permission. Because if you go to 15 USC 1681B,
81B.
it should bring you to permissible purpose. And then you go to number 2.
Permissible purpose. I see A in general, and then I see, give me a second. I think A is actually only a B. Is talking about conditions for furnishing and using consumer.
So 1681B,
Yeah.
permissible purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, number 2, right
Boom.
there.
I'm blind as a bat. See, that's what it is. That's the problem. So boom. 2, in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates. Keep going.
That's it. So if you didn't,
Okay.
So if you didn't give them that written permission,
Right.
they have no permissible purpose,
Right.
unless they get some order from a court of competent jurisdiction. Apart from that, they don't have it.